Hello and welcome to With the Brain Trust. This is going to be a micro episode. Happy Rosh Hashanah for those that celebrate. For those of us, we've been debating. We spent almost the whole time discussing a multitude of topics, which is kind of the point of networking. But also, when it's your podcast, it also becomes a bit of an issue. So we finally hammered on the topic of the power of tiny, consistent wins. And so before we get into that, though, I want to introduce everybody. Lita, can you introduce us?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Lita Bunting with Znimka Creations. I help people with their digital photos so that you can spend more time making memories instead of managing them.
Perfect. And Ginny.
I'm Ginny Kanzioka, graphic designer. I help clients to communicate who they are, what they do, and how they are able to help their clients. 3 reasons to work with me. I'm professional, I'm creative, and I'm a problem solver.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I'm Michael Rattay, Ball Brain Creative. Imaginative photos and videos to tell your story. And so, as I mentioned, our topic is the power of tiny, consistent wins. And although we're trying to kind of fit this into a daily thing, but I think we're all on different schedules. So I think Lita actually, she started with what her win was. So Lita, why don't you tell us about what you were doing?
So, I'm not sure if this is quite a win yet, but one of the things I'm truly consistent about is sending out a monthly newsletter. I've been sending them out without fail on the last day of the month, and my open rate is pretty good, but I don't get much interaction. So I'm not really sure if I'm calling it any wins, but I feel that it's good to just always be showing up in front of your audience in a somewhat personal way. And so hopefully someday someone will be like, I read your newsletter 3 years ago, and the topic that you wrote about really resonated with me. And hopefully I'm just planting these seeds. So hopefully it'll be a win. Not sure if it is just yet, but it is consistent.
In that sentence, I hear the win of where you made the decision that you want to show up consistently in front of people. And
right.
I think that is like, that eventually leads to whatever, we have different variations of what winning means, but I think that is truly the win. And I think it's like a personal decision that you set that you want to stick with.
Right.
And so that's what you're doing. So
yeah, I guess in my mind, winning would be like landing all these brand new clients. Oh, yeah, that would be like nice wins. But meeting my goal of sending these out, that's a win too. Yes. Good perspective, Mike. Thank you.
Not forgetting about you is also another win. So that's
right.
Just gonna glass half full everything.
Yeah, perfect.
Ginny, I know you are, I don't know if this is what you were gonna go with, but I know you are extremely consistent with 2 to 3 networking groups. I mean, would that be one of your kind of consistent things, or do you have anything else?
No, that is my consistent thing, because I realized a long time ago that I can tell people what I do, but the way to do it right is to show things that I do. So what I've always done is when I design a logo for somebody, I will show the 3 variations that I show the client. I would pass it around and let people guess which one the client picked. I've done that consistently with a lot of different projects, logos, business cards, brochures. Several meetings ago, though, I brought in examples of things that I had to illustrate for particular projects, because I work for Museum Explorer and they usually need something like I actually drew the wheel for the Mars rover cart that they were building. The Adler Planetarium was getting a full-scale model, and they asked Museum Explorer to design a cart for that. So I drew the wheel. I got pictures of it. It's a fabulous wheel. But I got to draw it, and it was fun for me because I drew all the different parts in layers in different colors. And then when I knew that it was all done and correct, then I saved it as a separate document and just turned it into a black and white, because they were going to add it to the wheel, and then they put some tread around it, around the wheel. And so it was just really an interesting project. The other thing I did was a menu for Ambria restaurant, they were going to be closing and this was going to be their last menu. So I was asked to re-illustrate the picture that was on the cover. They gave me an image that was tiny and it was in blue. So I had to draw that and I drew that and then I got to design the rest of the menu.
Here, I'll take over then. So that was, but I mean, those are different, but the same thing, I think, for both of you guys, because that also started this, because we spent literally almost the whole time talking, going through different topics, different subtopics, which is important, I think, for networking, because we were going on our own tangents, because our original topic was the power of choosing your coworkers, which is what networking sort of is, where you're choosing the people you collaborate with. But the reason we wanted to post something and we're being micro about it is because this is our tiny consistent win, is that if we take this week off, it potentially means
it could
who
snowball.
knows what it does to momentum. Yeah.
Right.
So that was our point in doing this. And so that's why those two consistents and so this will be part of mine, just us having to do this because it keeps us honest. So
well summarized.
Well, yeah, thank you. It's like a Seth Godin line. He's like, just ship it. Like, that's kind of his thing. And so I think that's what we're going about. So if you are listening, you're thinking about what do you need to do to be consistent. It's not about these grand gestures. I mean, the grand gestures add up, but it's the tiny steps that we do that lead to these bigger things. So that's us posting leads us to the next 3 topics. So thank you, everybody. This was the quick micro with the Brain Trust on tiny consistent wins and how they create the big ones. So thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.